Hi guys and welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be analyzing three assets, one stock and two cryptocurrencies. So Tesla, Bitcoin and Ripple. We will see where they might move over the next weeks and months. Please subscribe to our channel if you want us to keep releasing technical analysis for free. Well, to receive our real-time alerts, our newsletter with the outcome and the forecast for the upcoming weeks and months for all the kind of assets, including commodities, forex, stocks and cryptos, then you can join our growing community on Patreon. You will find the link in the description field. Let's start with the Tesla. As you can see here with a weekly chart. In the upper section we see the price inside the two envelopes, which should contain 95% of the data, while beneath we find two different kind of cycles. Let's start saying that my robot, my expert advisor, has now scored -6 points, which means it's strongly short on Tesla. And as you all know, if you follow me on YouTube, I've been calling a top at $860, while so many outside there were forecasting Tesla to hit 2,000, if not 5,000 US dollar over the next weeks. I've been one of the few in the world saying that actually we had hit top for the next 2 years at 860 US dollar, and they've been giving out a precise price target. So very first target for us it will be at 414 US dollar, from where we see a gap up that it is needed to be fulfilled. From there we might see a rebound, and then second target at 200 US dollar. So what we see here in terms of cyclicity is that we can see three kind of very similar waves. You all know that it's very difficult, if it's not rare, to find same waves with same amplitude and same length. Obviously we know that the length, and obviously in order to understand how to how to build a cycle, you need to work on the point of low. Okay, so the last point of low for Tesla was in December 19, and my robot actually entered at 70 US dollar. Its long position going out actually around here, so for a 10x trade for my robot. Right now my robot is selling short Tesla, and now we are going to analyze the price action. We can definitely confirm its forecast. So what we see here is that actually the price has been moving along the upper envelope, the upper band. Actually that's a moment which happens rarely. Whatever asset we're analyzing, as you can see here, in fact the price was moving actually between the upper band and the lower band. Okay, so for the very first cycle and the second cycle here, while for the third cycle it happened that the price was moving above the upper band. What is happening right now is that the price has broken below the upper band. Actually we can definitely forecast the price going to hit 400 US dollar again. I've been one of the few calling at 860 US dollar. From there we've hit a all-time high around 900 US dollar. I've been calling a sell short for the next years. Now, if we project the two cycles, we can definitely state that right now we should be expecting at least 1 year of movement downwards, obviously with some retrace, with some movement up. Yet Tesla seems to be doomed to keep moving down. Now, if we analyze the in terms of fundamental analysis, right now the price is still 900 times actually the earnings. This is something absurd. We all know that we should be taking into account the the forecast earnings. Okay, yet since right now the price is equal at 900, the earnings were at least 20 times above what it should be considered already an expensive stock. Obviously then we should be taking into account the price against the cash flow, the price against the revenue. So the price against the earnings cannot be the only factor that we should take into consideration. Yet Tesla seems to be horribly expensive to me. Even at 40 US dollar, or definitely $200 will be still will be an extraordinarily expensive company for me. So the right price for Tesla shouldn't be more than I would say the range between 20 and $40. Okay, so for the next 12 months, definitely we can forecast Tesla going to move down. So at $400 we see a rebound for what I do consider an ABC pattern. Okay, so we will see the Tesla going up, and then we will see again Tesla moving down over the 2022 and 2023 partially. So definitely we can project Tesla keep going up or resuming the uptrend at the end of the 2022 or at the beginning of the 2023. At that time, we will see where we are in terms of price action. For actually my tier 2 and my tier 1 for my Patreon have received they receive 2 weekly bi-weekly newsletter where I do forecast. I make some forecast on forex, cryptos and stocks, and actually I've been suggesting them once Tesla was worth more than $800 to buy a put option. Doesn't matter actually the strike price. I'm more concerned about the deadline of the actually the expiration of the put option. Okay, let's move on. So we see that actually again, my robot is strongly bearish on Tesla. I know that many were actually very dubious about my forecast about Tesla, but Tesla is clearly moving to hit my target. Once actually the 90-95% outside there, especially in the YouTube world, they were hyping Tesla and they were suggesting to keep buying. Because they were quite convinced that Tesla was going to hit $5,000. But right now, we have to be realistic. I've been calling a sell short for Tesla. Right now, I am the one who is right. Let's move on and let's analyze Bitcoin. Let's see what we can say for Bitcoin. Let's analyze the cyclicity for Bitcoin, and let's see actually what we can retrieve for Bitcoin. Actually, it's quite interesting. I will choose another one because I need more data to explain where we are actually with the Bitcoin against the US dollar. Okay, Bitfinex has enough data to analyze, to better analyze where we are. Okay, I decide to use the weekly chart, and the reason is because we need to understand, to forecast where Bitcoin might move over the next months. Okay, first of all, once we have seen the price, even in this case, like with Tesla, going above the upper band, actually I've been calling for a possible retrace, which actually happened with the price going back inside the two bands, which actually happened here in at the end of the bull cycle in January 18. Now I have already received from my Patreons and also for friends many questions if right now the bull run is over and if we should be expecting a bearish momentum, okay, the beginning of the bearish trend. I've been sending a newsletter to my patrons. I cannot reveal when I do believe the bull trend will be over. What I can say publicly is that we need to analyze here where we are in terms of waves. As you can see here, both the two curves are still oriented upwards. Okay. Now, if we analyze here the orange curve for the minor cycles, we see that the derivative is still positive. Okay, until we will see the white curve above the orange one, and we will not see the cross like it happened here. We cannot say that actually we are inside the bearish momentum. Okay, so we have to be objective in analyzing the charts. We don't need to, and we don't have to make the mistake of saying something which is not reflected by the price action. So what is happening right now is absolutely normal. Okay, what was happening before was abnormal. Why? And because we've seen the price moving along and outside, which is the most important thing, outside the upper band. So what is happening right now is quite normal. We might see, and that's something I've been revealing to my patrons already 1 month ago, we might see a movement till hitting the lower band at 30,000 US dollar. Till there, we are still inside a bullish trend. Okay. Actually, as you can see here, right now we are in the second phase of the ascending trend, of the ascending wave, because this is the very first one, okay, the beginning of the ascending wave. This is the second one, yet the second one might last more than the previous part of the wave. Okay, we will know actually with the following weeks if the bullish trend is over, if the 2 years bullish trend is over or not. Let's also remind, which is extremely important, that the previous entire cycle was equal to 3.5 years, 2 years of uptrend and 1.5 years of downtrend. I have a clear date, a clear month in my mind where we might see the beginning of the bearish trend. I've also calculated the standard deviation, but this is something which can be revealed only to my patrons. Let's move on. Let's analyze Ripple. Ripple against the US dollar. It's quite interesting. As you can see here, even in terms of weekly analysis, we see the red curve for these cycles above the azure one, and in this case we see the white curve above the orange one. Okay, we see also that the price is broken above the upper band. Actually, that means that it's something extreme. Yet we have to state that the Ripple has a different kind of movement, has a different price action when compared with Bitcoin. It's more explosive, so it tends to move horizontally with a reduced volatility, with a period of reduced volatility. And what happens afterwards is something that I've explained several times. After a prolonged period of low volatility, we normally see a monstrous movement, in this case up. Okay, even in this case we see that the two derivatives, the white curve and the orange one, are still upward oriented, which means the probabilities to see Ripple moving up over the next months is still superior than the probability to see Ripple going down. Yet, if we switch to the daily chart, we will see something interesting. We need to be actually very careful in what the price action is telling us. We see here fantastic waves, fantastic curves. What we see here, this curve, this cycle, as you can see here, is the double of this one. Okay, when this happens, that means that Ripple right now is inside a strong bullish momentum. Yet, right now we will see the price going down for at least 1 month, because we need to close the second part of the wave. In other words, this was a prolonged wave. In other words, this is like if we would have two waves here, okay, but the derivative is still positive, and that means that actually the trend was extremely bullish for Ripple. Even in the Magnus cycles, as you can see here, we see that the white curve is still above the orange one, but the white curve here for the daily cycle have hit the point of high here, which means for the next days, I would say for a few weeks, this point of high around $2 should be the should not be overcome over the next days. Okay, so this is actually the relative high for the next few weeks. Okay, and the reason is because right now we are going to see the red curve crossing below the azure one. Same here, the white curve is going to cross below the orange one to close the current cycle. We will be again looking into buying Ripple at the end of the entire cycle, when actually we will see the white curve crossing below the orange one, and actually going with the white curve going to hit this relative point of low. In this case, actually, which might happen over June, where we actually right now I'm quite I'm neutral, slightly bearish for Ripple, and actually at the end of May, beginning of June, we should see we should see a drop, a strong one, maybe to retest this area between 0.8 and $1. So we will be bullish again, actually over the second half of June, and the reason is because we need to see right now the white curve crossing below the orange one to close the entire